To race 2 highlights now, and a huge crowd was on standby to witness the reverse grid race at Bathurst. And they wouldn't have to wait long for the sparks to fly.
Gary Carson on pole for the first time. The top 11 runners from race 1 have been reversed, but it's Ben Dunn. The Storage King Falcon is off to a rocket start and leads them through. Oh, there was contact in the background there. Looked like Paul Morris, who's taken over the Scott Jennings car this weekend, was put into the pit wall fence.
And pretty verbal on the radio there is Craig Donnis. So these second races in the V8 Utes are always action-packed off the start, but Dunn got an absolute flyer in the red-ass car. That's fantastic.
I'm giddy. This is Andrew Fisher with the Newlon in-car, up the mountain, up the inside as well. Elsgood's back there somewhere. Charlie O'Brien's off to our left. Side by side up through here. Doesn't work. Someone's got a lift.
It's going to have to be Fisher, I would say.
No lift.
He's not got the line. He locks it up. Charlie O'Brien with experience stays in underneath.
Doesn't matter. Fisher's got it done.
Clear Charlie. Clear Charlie.
Great move. Beautiful job. Fisher gets through. Ambrose and Murphy didn't.
Yeah, and there's no helmets off action down there with beating each other up over the corner. Across the top of the mountain for the first time. Have a look at the crowd as we ride on board. Oh, no, what's happened here?
That's Steve McFadden.
That's down at the cutting, and there seems to be a little bit of urgency around the car. Oh, Millet too in the wake-up car.
The other car, the White Falcon, was Noel Edge. Now let's have a look again at the replay of the start. Good jump from Ben Dunn. Chris Pither, for the second race in a row, is up against the pit wall, but at the back of the pack, Paul Morris, who's driving Scott Jennings' Hungry Jack's car, got involved in some drama, and hopefully we can pick it up here because it was all going on. Here we go. There he is down the inside. There's a touch-up in front between Noel Edge and Greg Willis. Charlie Kovacs, who DNF'd race 1, therefore is at the back, went to go left to miss them, but hit the dude.
And here we go on board with Warren Millet too up into the cutting to see what's happened here. Just keep an eye. Look at that.
Oh, no. I can see what's going on here. Noel Edge tags McFadden. Millet. Oh, that's a heavy hit.
That's a big hit. And look at the steering wheel.
It's out.
Turned hard right and is not going anywhere.
When the race restarted, Ben Dunn was on a charge.
Dunn's got a margin. Great restart up the mountain this time. The fight really is for the minors. McDonald on the inside for third. Ryle Harris on the outside. Ryle's got to make a decision here. He's got to lift out of this because he's on the wrong side.
Well, if he's got the grip, he can go around the outside. McDonald's going to throw it up the inside, and he's made that choice. He's going to let McDonald get through. A very mature decision from Ryle.
But the battle for second was far from over.
Gary Baxter is 9th in the championship coming into this weekend. Gary McDonald is 5th. And within reach, really, of Cedars and Fisher. He's in front of them all, and now he's going for second. He's got a bit more of a run down. Conrod into the chase. Look at the speed radar, 235 and around the outside.
That is incredibly brave stuff, and that's made Gary Baxter have to go defensive left to try and keep Ryle Harris out of his placing as well. Pither locks it up. They're all locking it up down into the chase. They're getting excited. This is what we love.
Back aboard with Fisher. He's closing in here. Pither made a little mistake. And now Harris has a look at Baxter. It is on in race 2.
Keep the pressure on, mate. You will make a mistake. Well done. Keep going.
That's our second place runner, Gary McDonald's team manager, keeping his driver on the charge.
With the race now shortened, Dunn appeared to be in complete control on the run to the finish.
Now, the chase, the last opportunity for McDonald to make a lunge, for Dunn to make a mistake. The pressure is on, locks the wheel, runs it a little bit wide. 1 corner to go, he'll park it on the left.
That's given McDonald a real run at him. Look as he goes right and he dips left again. Dunn stays defensive in the middle of the circuit. Can he cross for his first win? He's held it together.
Oh, he's running really wide at the last corner.
Great drive, mate. Well done.
But Ben Dunn gets home by the skin of his teeth. The Holdens were chasing. David Cedars, our race 1 winner in 9th, Grant Johnson 11th. But Ben Dunn gets his first race win in a while.
I think it was my quickest lap this weekend, was my final lap in that race. I just had to put it on the line, so it worked. I haven't had a win for a couple of years, 4 years, Wakefield Park, so it's never a better place to do it than Bathurst.
Cedars and Johnson will square off on the front row. Harris and Fisher are on row 2, but we've lost a couple of cars and there's been a few penalties from race 2 handed out.
Yeah, after the incident up at the cutting in race 2, Millet, Edge, Gomersall and McFadden are out, and Morris couldn't get his car fixed after that start line incident either.
And Noel Edge has been given a $10,000 fine, 7,000 of it suspended for that crash in race 2, and he's in fact been benched for race 3 as a penalty. Jeremy Grace had a bit of a tough weekend in the Rockstar Falcon. First time in the mountain for the rookie. They blew the power steering hose on the warm-up lap of race 1, hence why he's starting a fair way back on the grid, and all of those cars you see, as Matt referenced, will not take part down the back. So Cedars and Johnson, Ford and Holden, ready to go. Final race of the weekend. Great start from Grant Johnson down the outside. The Commodores have looked a little stronger off the grid here this weekend.
Well, we saw this in race 1 as well. Johnson leading up the mountain for the final time. Cedars behind him. It's all shove and bump and grind. Oh, that looks like a missed gear from Gary McDonald. Look at the run that's given Elsgood up Mountain Straight for the first time.
The thing that I'm really interested to see here is how does Ben Dunn deal? He's running right up there. There he is. Race 2 winner sits in 5th place. He's racing with the guys who are right up there in terms of the championship. He's had a great year so far. Has run in the top 10 of the championship. Oh, it's greasy going up the mountain this first time. But how he races in among some very fast cars will really show what he's made of.
Yeah, and you're right in the greasy part too. We've had some weather around. It looks like Pither just nailed the wall there a little bit coming up into the cutting. He's got the red-ass Falcon right in front of him. We had rain at the top of the mountain during the warm-up lap, but nothing down below. So we'll see how the guys deal with that heading over the mountain for the first time.
There's the pedigree Commodore, Adam Bressington, back in the championship this weekend for the first time in 5 years. And he's taken over the car that James Brock has been running for a range of drivers, although run this weekend by the high-tech team.
And a fantastic comeback too. He's never raced a VE here, the new style of Commodore. So a very, very stout effort from the New South Welshman as we run down into the dipper in this final race for the first time. The 2 ice brake cars, nose to tail, up the front, on board with Elsgood now. 3rd gear, back to 2nd for the entry into Forest Elbow. Fisher just ranging up the back of Harris and the Roy Lancers Commodore. Been a great weekend for Ryle Harris. Lots of mature driving. I think it's fair to say he's been inconsistent at times, but has really strung it together this weekend, Aaron.
He's pretty pumped up for our next round, which is on his home track, the streets of the Gold Coast at the Armour All Gold Coast 600. Cedars makes the move down the inside of the chase. Oh, that car has been fast this weekend, and we know Grant Johnson's quick. We've watched him win so many races all year, but Cedars is hooked up in the Newlon Falcon.
Oh, he's made that move his own as the front end of the car, and Johnson gets a little twitchy there.
What's the white stuff, mate?
And that's the team managers just telling their drivers, be very careful, it's the greasy conditions. Those white lines are like ice, Aaron.
Let's have another look at the start on the Yokohama replay. Harris makes a very good jump. Everyone was pretty well behaved on the run down at turn 1.
Well, they look like they're being that way in the front. Of course, you know, well, Dodgers. No,
that was close.
You've got to be very careful at the start. It's the most dangerous part of any race, and you can ruin a whole weekend with a bad decision.
Jack Elsgood here, challenging Gary McDonald. He's on the wrong side here. We saw Andrew Fisher pull that move off earlier in the weekend, but in this race, when the conditions are how they are now, there is no chance of that.
And you've also got cold tyres to play with as well this early in the race. As we ride on board now with Pither, the ice brake Commodore coming up over the top of the mountain for the 2nd time. He's got Ben Dunn on him, continuing that great form from race 1 on 2. Through McPhillamy Park now. Just keeping it nice and tidy, heading towards Skyline. Just...
Oh, there's the pressure. Lock up on the left front from Dunn. And it really is motorsport's version of a pinball machine, because if you get it wrong, you bounce your way all the way here to Forest Elbow.
And you take about 5 or 6 cars with you. A shift now down into 3rd at Forest Elbow, flat on the gas. 4th, up to 5th.
Nice to see he's taking the morning coffee, though, too.
And here's that lead by Cedars once again. He's got 2 or 3 car lengths on Johnson. Let's see if Johnson can do the repay serve and go around the outside. I don't think he's close enough at 230k an hour.
Oh, That's scary.
It's not scary, it's fun. That's how we play it in V8 Utes.
Oh, Pether got that really good run down Conrod. Grabs Ben Dunn, who's clearly missed a gear as well. McDonald's got him. Elsgood's got him. They are rumbling hard here at the mountain. Cedars leads the way. Back at Bathurst in race 3 of the Yokohama V8 Ute Series. It has been tight while we were away. Jack Elsgood making a move on Ben Dunn. George Elliott, Nandy Kiss, Jeremy Grave. Pretty much a bit of standard Ute stuff at the chase. And then it kept going. Check this one out. This was the replay of 3 and a 1. Never, ever, ever goes.
How close was Nandy Kister just cleaning up George Elliott there? Back live to the race now. Oh, look at the drift on Dunn and the smoke and lock up down into the chase.
Tata, no way he would make that corner. He nearly did, but he chose the right option. Out through the grass. Careful.
That's exactly like Brad Patton at Winton Round. Re-entering the circuit on the grass and just gave it the big old heave-ho loop. He's in a tough position here. How do you get the car around on a blind corner?
You wait for the whole field and you lose all the spots that you've worked so hard for. That's what you do.
Look at that flag marshal. Seriously giving it, and another car goes wide there. Teammate on teammate.
Gary McDonald gets into the side of Chris Pither, and Elsgood gets the run and says thank you. That is the easiest spot. We ride on board the DBA in-car. The Cooper's Falcon will never get a spot as easy as that.
That is just crazy. Darren Park from Icebreak Racing will be on the phone to both of the boys. Take somebody else out. Don't take each other out. That's like the golden rule of motorsport.
We're looking at Brad Patton. That's a mean car. I'm scared just looking at it.
It's the world's fastest tattoo, isn't it?
Pacemaker in car with Craig Donis in the Thirsty Camel Commodore.
Rocks up the rear brakes. I don't know what happened there. There was no telltale smoke.
Stay to the left-hand side up the hill there. Stay to the left.
Yeah, he wants to because Reece McNally's got a run on him. And he needs to cover. Oh, around the outside. The young West Aussie is equal to the task. Great move. And Reece has been picking the brain of Grant Johnson. It's his first time at Bathurst. Just trying to pick up a couple of hints and tips on how to best get around this mountain.
Well, he's certainly been listening because that was some great driving, as we see the replay again have done in real time. Oh, man, he was really, really close there.
And this is the move from McDonald on the Yokohama replay. Pither gave a little bit of room. McDonald took some curb. And this was Brad Patton just getting a little sideways.
I reckon Patton's missed a gear there. He's gone from a high gear to a low gear and given it a bit of a compression lock-up in the rear because there was no telltale smoke. So he's done something weird there.
Here's Andrew Fisher in 4th place in the Jesus Falcon. Now, this car is prepared by the Cedars racing team that, of course, run the David Cedars car that leads the way. So they've had a very good weekend. Ben Dunn is also part of that team. So they have to be... I was about to say, they've got to be really happy with their weekend. Roll Harris just got a wheel in the dirt. You've got to be really, really careful.
Pressure on, mate. It's cracking.
You can hear all the team managers, Aaron, they're on the radio trying to get their boys settled down and focused for the final lap. We're right on board now, the PDW on board with Kim Jane. Oh, had to lift just a second there with Charlie O'Brien.
Couple of old stages here. Haven't lost a bit. Charlie, a veteran of 20 starts in the great race, the Bathurst 1000. Kim's been there and done that as well in NASCAR and in Ute racing, and that's been a gutsy performance from Kimbo this weekend. He is not feeling the best. In fact, race 2 ending so short in terms of safety car laps was a bit of a godsend for him too.
It was. He was very, very happy with that. He's struggling with a couple of busted ribs as we go through Armour All Park across the top of the mountain, riding on board with Kim Jane. Just lifts a little bit. Watch the wheel down there. Watch the PDW make its way through McPhillamy Park there. It's a great camera angle. This really gives you a driver's view of where you sit on the car, the pressures that come with driving this magnificent circuit.
Royal Harrison, 3rd spot, is under fire. Fisher's with him, McDonald's with him. Elsgood's not too far away either. But getting back to a comment we made earlier, Andrew Fisher actually lost a race win from Townsville for irregular fuel, but it was found to be correct and all good, so he had his points and his win returned. Very, very happy about that. And comes into this weekend, still a championship contender. The rounds are running out, and he's got Pither right with him too.
And look at the pressure as Pither ranges up the back of him. Oh, big oversteer slide. He's keeping the pressure on.
You may have to defend here.
You
may.
Schooled.
I reckon that's a definite.
Pither, left, right. Got the angry eyes on. McDonald in the background, the teammate taking Elsgood as well. This race has gone off in the last lap.
Now, what you don't want to do is make a half-hearted run at turn 1 because it will kill your speed up mountain straight. So that's why Pither is going in there as hard as he can. Elsgood's having a run at McDonald too, but Pither really concentrated on his run through turn 1 to shoot him up and give him a chance at Fisher. Elsgood made a mistake there. You can see it on the DBA in-car. He's going to have to tuck in and hang on and hope that he can get a spot back.
And that's unfortunate because McDonald also made a mistake by running wide as we go to a replay of Dodges and McPhillamy. Oh, there's been some very, very well-known drivers that have put it in the wall there after a manoeuvre like that. Gary Carson running wide, coming onto the main straight as well. The final lap, the final time going across the mountain. It's all to play for, Aaron. They're focused. Their team managers are on the line to them. They've got to bring this home. As you mentioned earlier, no use in doing any half-hearted passes.
Peter Burnett is in the sand.
Good duck, kill it.
How did he get there? This will answer the question. Got help by Rowan Barry and...
son-in-law,
yeah.
Rowan Barry. That's going to be a very quiet flight on the way home. Oh, look at that.
And I reckon Rowan's got a penalty coming for that one. No chance of being in the gap there, and father-in-law parked.
Penalty from the stewards or penalty from father-in-law?
Probably both.
I reckon I'd rather take the one from Camps just quietly.
The run home, down Conrod Straight. David Cedars has been the man this weekend. Fisher's been strong.
Flat through the chain, the entry to the chase.
Little lift, though.
Well, it's the last lap to go. It's pretty brave stuff, though.
Oh, no, Fisher went in too deep. Lock up. Pither has got one more chance, but Fisher will park it on the inside. David Cedars on target for his second race win this weekend. He's not done within the championship. It's a Ford blue sweep at the mountain. Cedars takes round 6. Talk about minors, though.
Still on in the background. Fisher just gets over the top of Pither, McDonald and Elsgood. What a fantastic race.
Oh, great way to round out the weekend at Bathurst. The Utes continue to impress on this mountain circuit. There's Gary Baxter. He's next home. Adam Bressington, good job. Back in the championship this weekend. And Craig Donis and Reece McNally running all the way to the line to round out what's been a big weekend for the Ute boys on top of Mount Panorama. Johnson second, Ryle Harrison third, Charlie O'Brien a great job to round out the top 10.
In 11th, Kim Jane, a great comeback after that massive accident earlier in the weekend. Brad Patton, a good strong finish in 15th position, rounding out the top 20 in the Bisley Workwear Commodores, Nandy Kiss.
But for the weekend, though, David Cedars takes his second round win of 2010. The podium for round 6 is how they finished in race 3. Johnson and Harris stand on top of the podium as well, but the Ford man was on fire at this special track.
Oh, it's been awesome. Like, we had that suspension failure in practice 1, and it's pretty hard to climb back to the top once you have a problem like that, and we have, and it's just awesome. Like, the mountain, it's like winning the championship in one race. It's awesome. Like, that New Line Falcon just kept going and going and going. I can't thank the team enough.
To the championship points, and you'll notice that Jack Elsgood has lost a few, disqualified from the last race for a wheelbase infringement, but our championship leader is confident with the last 2 rounds on street circuits.
We're going to some tracks that really you've got to really drive rather than rely on your horsepower, so I'm pretty happy when it comes to that type of thing, and to finish all 3 races here for a change and extend our championship lead, I mean, that's all we came here for.